The Healing Hour, February 6th, 2018. Welcome to the Healing Hour for February the 6th, 2018, and we're live with you for the next hour. Co-host Janet Charette and Tyhson Banighen, the Illuminator, the Energy Detective, here to break you free, to bust you free from whatever's in your way so you can show up and be the best that you can be, to be the awesome being that the planet's been waiting for. So standing by for your call over the next hour. The way to get hold of us is a number of different ways. You can leave live comments and beneath the show, and we'll be able to pick them up and read them online and show them online. Secondly, there's a link in the description, today's description. Click the link and you will be live right beside Janet and I on the screen. That's another way you can participate. And last but not least, everybody's favorite of the show is to phone in toll free 1-866-369-7464. So we have one person showing up here, which is great. Alfonso Monzo Moreno. Hopefully I pronounced that. Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, feel free to type in below, and we will then put it on the screen and answer your questions. If you are in North America, which probably you're not, but if you are, you can phone in 1-866-369-7464, or you can see the link that's right on the page where you joined the show that will click. If you click that, you'll come on through your computer or your smartphone and join us live that way. All right, so welcome to the show, John Ski. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. So we got an exciting show today, lots to catch up with, and the big announcement is the Big Picture Show reveal was released today on YouTube video. This is a show hosted by yours truly with Michael O'Connor, produced by the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. And the focus of this weekly show will be to weave a wide array of disciplines of human endeavor to understand who we are as a species and why we're here. Like some big questions, right? At worst, our current worldview is largely anchored in a materialistic model, which asserts that life is essentially random and arbitrary, a result of chance. This has contributed to a global crisis in consciousness. So we investigate these questions, and part of that will be that you can sign up to have a weekly horoscope, and you'll get an update of what's happening astrologically, so you can use that as an opportunity to show up and be the best that you can be. So we have also Tammy Young has joined us. So all three of you, if you would like to type in any comments or questions that you'd like, please feel free to do. And right now, I'll put up the how to phone in toll free if you're in North America. So it's 1-866-369-7464. Okay, it's going to be up on the screen right now. Toll free in North America, 1-866-369-7464 or 1-866-Dowsing. So that's about the Big Picture Show. Also, I'd like to announce we're just launching a book club, and the book club will be focused on letting go. This is an amazing book that takes you through each emotion, from apathy being on the lowest scale to enlightenment on the upper scale. And you'll learn as you move through this book in the book club how to handle each emotion. Not that you ignore it, but how to step into it, how to process it, how to let go of it, how to then move to the next higher emotion, and how to free yourself from the bondage of recurring themes or endless loops of programming that you may be running in your subconscious that could come from your schooling or your parenting or near-death experience or some trauma in your life. So it's a way that we can help each other bust free as we move through this book chapter by chapter. It'll cost you $33 a month to be part of the book club. We're recommending it it can either download it from Kindle very inexpensively or get an audio version of the book. Also, you can upgrade as well for $333 a month, and also join us in a mastermind in which you will be paired with a group of people that will help you do the deeper work to do the picking and letting go, or the deeper process of letting go of the emotions and moving through it to the higher emotions. So this will be 6 months of working together, and we're quite excited. And Janet will be co-hosting that and using her various skills in theta and access consciousness. And you have some other tricks up your sleeve. So what are some of the other techniques you're going to be using?
I think one of the most brilliant techniques that I've come across is the compassion key, and it's a way for people to learn how to give themselves self-compassion. And so I think that's a very, very important part. Like a lot of in the letting go, a lot of the things that happens we're afraid to feel the feelings, and a lot of it, like we've never learned how to process the feelings. Like an example would be shame. Like in our cultures, in many cultures, shame is just the way we handle it is just deflect it. Like as soon as someone feels upset, they'll just go like, "Whoa, that's your fault. I didn't do it," or whatever. So compassion key is a way to just be able to go like, "Whoa, like I'm so sorry that happened to you," or to be able to. So that's one that I know and love, and it's really, really powerful. So to teach people how to give themselves compassion, which is kind of a radical concept for a lot of people. So I'm going to use that a lot. Yeah.
And then
like
go ahead.
Oh, well, I think part of it is like for a lot of things that happen, we're just so out of our body, and to be able to bring it to use whatever tools that we can to figure out that it's safe to get into our bodies and to be able to feel the emotion and then let it go. So there's tons and tons of tools that'll do that. And I think the beauty of the mastermind is going to be that we'll have a safe container and a safe community to be able to start exploring and feeling safe and having a tribe. So I don't know if excited is the right word for me, but it's like it's really sweet that this is happening. It's a very powerful tool. I think it's one thing to work with coach, but to work with a group and to feel the self, the healing in a group, or even the emotions, or it's like having a whole cheerleading team with you. It's pretty special.
Like an extended family.
Yeah. It's instead of having a whole bunch of people that rag on you all the time, like you actually can have people that care. Like say like, "Whoa, yeah, how cool is that?" So
that's one of the tools. The other tool that Janet has, and that I've been trained by Janet, is to work with theta, and that in that process we can go and actually ask source or God or creator to download emotions that we may not know what they feel like in our body because we've never experienced them. So we may come across those emotions as we move through chapter by chapter and discover each emotion. We may discover that some people in the mastermind or on the call have never ever experienced one of those emotions, so they don't know how to identify it or even know what it feels like. So we'll be able to download those so that you will know whether they are, so it'll be easier for you to identify them and work through them. So that's another one. We're also going to be working with divine mother energies, which are silent energies that we can run, very powerful. And other opportunities we'll be using quantum sound therapy, which is scalar wave energy. We'll do a group recording, a voice recording of everybody on the call, and then produce a 32-minute sound file that you will be able to play back on your own time, which will provide a very deep energetic clearing of what no longer serves you, which then allows for the new energies to come in as you let go of what no longer you need. So those are some of the really interesting ways that we'll be working together, is using all these different healing modalities, and also the deep clearing and short clearing modalities to help you get out of your way and show up and be the best that you can be. So we're standing by for your toll-free call to us and asking for a clearing, or to ask any questions about dowsing and energy healing. And in the meantime, just to let you know, I have announced that we're starting a new class in the energy healing, distant healing certification training course. And for those that are listening to the show in a developing country or on the subcontinent of India or Pakistan, and if finances are an issue and you really, really want to take this course, then we're offering scholarships. We would just like you to give us a paragraph of why you want a scholarship, how you're going to use the healing, the distant healing certification, what do you want to do with it, and how are you going to pay it forward. So if you could give us 2 or 3 paragraphs and put it in the Messenger Facebook for Tyhson Banighen, that's me, then that would be greatly appreciated. And here's the spelling of my name. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see. And then we will make a case for you to come in at a reduced rate. So if you're from the continent, Pakistan or India, and you really can't afford this and you do want to do it, or you're from a developing country and really want to do the certification in distant healing, then do let us know. We have limited scholarships, but we're excited to make it work for you. So just let us know. Okay? So that's the 2 big programs coming up, and in the works and soon to be launched in the not too distant future is we're going to be doing a prosperity monthly club as well, to break you through of all the limitations you have to abundance flowing into your life. And of course, we have a reason why we want to do that is because if you have more money, you can afford to work with us. That would be awesome. So we can even do some deeper work with you, and also we could all prosper together. So it'll be a companion course or book club parallel to the other one. So one's helping you work through your emotional trauma, release yourself, and the other is getting ready to receive the abundance that is your birthright. So we're excited about that. So stay tuned for that. And by the way, if you just come on and are a new member in the Dowsing Energy Healing, I'd just like to welcome all the new members. We're now at 2,432 members. And for those of you that just came in and you're over at looking for the free Dowsing ebook, I apologize. I goofed up the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy website, so it's down under repair. And we'll let you know in the Facebook group when it's back up and you can pick up your free Dowsing ebook. So in the meantime, we're going to head over as we're waiting for your toll-free call in, which is up on the screen, 1-866-369-7464, or leave your comments in the Messenger and we'll pick them up. So we're just going to look at comments here and requests. So this is for Gratitude Sunday, which is, what are you grateful for today? And we have 5 comments. And Diane Marshall is grateful for taking back her personal power, which is really about what deep clearing is all about, is learning how to stand in your personal power and claim that you're a sovereign human being. So congratulations to you, Diane Marshall, for doing the work and getting the results. And for Ashley Craddock, for getting to make some wonderful memories with my families. Yes, what a great way to feel that you're free and clear and standing in your truth. If you want to know whether you're succeeded or not, just go visit your family, because that's where your buttons were initially pushed. And if you can be with your family in a loving environment and not get triggered and not trigger anybody else, I would say you've graduated. So congratulations on that. Lorna Joy Shashinda, I'm grateful for a loyal friend who was brave enough to show me important truth. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for friends to be truthful we want to please our friends, so sometimes it's hard to bare our souls and tell our friends the truth. But that's what friends are for. Okay, so we're going on to Elemental Assisted Sunday. What elemental forces, fire, earth, air, and water, do you want assistance from in order to do what? We have one comment. Let's see what the comment is. Monique Sage says, fire for fueling and protecting love. Yes, the fire elemental is beautiful in many, many ways for burning through what no longer serves you. The fire of inspiration, the fire of the red cheeks from embarrassment or for being in love, fire in the belly for enthusiasm and energy to succeed, and of course, obviously for love. And, you know, the fire in the belly comes from the good food that you eat. So fire for change and transformation. And of course, if you're going to be the phoenix, you get born out of the element of fire. So fire is the energy of transmutation, to transmute what no longer serves you into what does serve you. So thank you, Monique. Yes, the fire for fueling and protecting love. That's a good one. All right. Yeah, Ashley Craddock says, hello, everyone. What's the best method for beginners to clear and balance chakras on themselves and others? I've read that you should always ask permission before trying to clear and balance someone else. I asked to do so for my daughter, and I was denied permission. Lots of love. Maybe she's too young or just didn't need it. Anyway, would like to cleanse and balance my chakras and my husband's, and in need of advice. Well, yeah, that's a really interesting question. Normally, it's, you know, because you have a soul agreement, you chose your parents and you chose your children and they chose you. Usually you do not need permission to clear your children, either through dowsing or chakra balancing. However, you know, there's a new higher level of children, the rainbow children come through, and who knows, they may feel that they're already are just fine, thank you very much, so don't mess with me. So if you do get a no, then I do encourage you to respect it. One of the things that can happen, though, with children is that they're just used to saying no. So one of the ways to discover whether their higher self is in agreement or not is to actually wait until they're asleep and then go and approach their higher self. And if you do that, it will feel like you're able to open a door and ask them if you can work with them, and you either get a yes or no, and that will be mean you're talking to their higher selves, and then you can go ahead and proceed to do that. Okay, so that's one possibility around all that. One of the nice things about chakras is if you are working on somebody, you really don't have to do anything other than take your pendulum over the chakra, and the pendulum will do all of its work on its own. And I've seen that demonstrated many, many times. The pendulum will either be going clockwise, bringing in cosmic energy or universal energy into that chakra to balance it, or it'll be going counterclockwise and pulling the energy out, and then it will come to rest and no longer spin. So it's nice. You don't have to figure out anything. You can't do it wrong. You just let the pendulum do the work, and it will do the balancing. So the nice thing is that you don't have to figure out, well, am I doing it right or doing it wrong? Because you can't do it wrong. So, yeah, so you could ask, you know, anybody in your family to do that for you. They don't even know how to dowse. All they have to do is hold the pendulum over your chakra, and you can make the command to clear and install if you want, and the pendulum will just do what it needs to do. So thank you for that question. That's a great question. It did generate a lot of different comments. There's 13 comments. Stacy Sparkman says, sometimes it just says no. I figure maybe there might be negative entities around. That's something to consider. And Stacy Sparkman says, ask to clear yourself and family and property of anything non-beneficial. That's a good one. And Jerry McGon says, I always ask the following questions before dowsing or on anyone or anything. May I douse this? Should I? Could I? Is it in my best interest? Is it in the best interest? Is it in my best interest? is my mind free and clear that I will not affect the answers? That is possible because you're not wanting certain answers, especially when dowsing family. You want to do or have the best outcome for them. Yeah, so the basic protocol for dowsing, the master dowser teaches, can I, may I, should I, which all need to be yes. And then I add, is there any reason why not, which is a no. So I just don't rush through those can I, may I, should I questions, but they're all preparations for dowsing to make sure that it's appropriate for you to be able to do it. Things like, am I hydrated? Is it the right time of day? Do I have permission from the person? You know, is it the right question or wrong question? Or all of those are important questions. So can I, may I, should I are good ones. But I do like, should I douse this as permission? Can I? Or may I? Is it in the best interest? Is it in my best interest? So those are great questions to ask. And as Jerry says, that's his 2 cents worth. And I would say that that's a valuable 2 cents, Jerry. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Samantha.
As a mom, I've got like tons of 2 cents to add about that. And like, I guess part of it is like my kids when they were young saying like, Mom, there's really nothing to fix. Like, so the fine line about like, if it's something you don't like with your kids, but it's who they are. And like, I guess like, if it's an entity and it's not really them, then I can see it interfering. But if it's just like something you don't really, wish was different or whatever, then I really love those questions. Like, can I? Yeah, sure. How? Like, may I? Like, well, asking permission is important. And should I? Like, like who? Sometimes who are we to decide? Like on someone else's journey, like they might really want to be doing this or whatever. Like, I guess with the question with the chakra, like that would be different. But like a lot of the times that if your child's triggering you, like sometimes it's a blessing for me to figure out like what's in it for me, for my own self to fix. Like, that's just my 25 cents worth. So there.
Yeah, that's a valuable 25 cents. Raymond Grace, who was one of my principal teachers, has a really interesting attitude towards certainly clearing entities. And as far as he's concerned, when it comes to clearing entities, you don't need any permission from anybody. Yeah. It's in the most benevolent outcome for all concerned. And according to law, one which is don't do no harm. So he just goes ahead and clears everybody. So, be sensitive. I mean, if it really is something that, is negative and is an entity or an attachment or disincarnate entity or being or whatever, then by all means go ahead. You don't need permission. I mean, if we wait for permission, we're going to have a very difficult planet to live on. We want people to be free and clear and be sovereign. So go ahead and do that. Laura J. Inda says, I don't know why it shows the angry face for me. I don't know what that comment really means. Lorna, could you sort of say more? Where's the angry face? We don't see any angry face, but oh, I see your little angry face. I don't know. I think that's an emoji that maybe you have beside your name. So you could change that. I don't know why you're angry, and I don't know why you're showing angry. So we'll just clear that anger for you by you changing your emoji into a big fat red heart. How about that? Okay, interesting though, why that's happening. So, all right, we're moving on here. We're still waiting for your phone in, right? I mean, Janet's getting bored. She wants to, answer your tough questions. So it's 1-866-369-7464. Janet's standing by to take your call, and she's the wizard and the wizardress and the wizard's dress that can help you do whatever you need to do. So, all right. So this is interesting. Samantha Jane Mulville says, use a picture of a person. We're still talking about clearing chakras. With the chakra shown on it, state that it represents you.
Hello? We just lost Tyson. I don't know what's going on here. Hello? 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 Something's going on.
Yeah, something's going on. I can see and hear you. Can you hear me? All right, so there we are. I'm back. I don't know what happened, but I disappeared. Maybe just too much energy. I disappeared and then reappeared and left Janet holding the fort and running the show. So, and we'll be doing more of that over time. We'll be disappearing and letting Janet run the show. So, yeah, I like the whole idea of using a picture of your body or your chakras. I actually have been known to adjust people's a skeletal framework using a pencil with an eraser and a picture of your skeletal frame. So which is really, really awesome. You just tells what needs to be adjusted, how many taps and where exactly to do it, and boom, you do an adjustment over time and space. So yeah, I like the whole idea of using pictures of organs, of people, and yeah, the master dowser I learned from who uses the paw pendulum and does distant healing and actually is the principal teacher in that course, actually uses a teddy bear for the males and a doll for the females. And his name is John Living. So what he does is he takes the name of the person who wants the clearing and he puts it on a sticky note, and then if it's a male, sticks it on the bear. And then he works on the bear. Clears all the energy of the surrogate bear, and I guess that bear would become a Care Bear, but that bear is used to be the surrogate for the male, and the doll it becomes a surrogate for the female. That's just really good working with animals too. Is that it's really hard to make your dog sit still, but you could have somebody in the family be the surrogate. You work on them, and it actually gets transferred to the animals. So yeah. Very powerful way, particularly if you're working on elephants or, wild animals that you don't want to be in the same pen with them. You can do it as a surrogate. Powerful stuff. Jennifer Wilson says, saying the Lord's Prayer greatly balances the chakras. Something you people know. Yeah, well, that's a good one. Yeah, a prayer, an intention is very, very powerful. All right, so yeah, there's some asking about the house clearing. There's an online course for $33 to help you with house clearing if you'd like to learn more about that. We're moving down the chart here, and we're going to Mother Earth Planetary Clearing Friday. Specific areas on Mother Earth or planetary systems such as rivers, streams, ocean currents, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and you want some help to clear them. I just had a flash of insight. It's really interesting that since the blue moon and this major change and transformation and getting close to the Chinese New Year, which is going to be very powerful on the 15th of this month, things have started to settle down energetically on the planet. Now, I'm not saying that, we have the Tao that's going through its nightmares and all the rest, but I mean, it seems as though the Earth, for the moment, is taking a breath, and she's not going through many pains of earthquakes and trauma, and hurricanes and all the rest of that, which is good news. Okay. Oh, Laura J says, thanks, I was able to change the mojo. Oh, great. It still shows an angry face in ours, but we believe that you changed your mojo. Okay, let's see what else we got. Anybody else want to post there? That would be great. And if you're in North America, it's toll free. You can just phone in 1-866-369-7464. Don't be shy. You can also find the Be Live link in the description of the Healing Hour. Click that link and you will be live right beside Janet. All right, going down here. Yeah, I did a posting here called this. The title is Mind Blower. It says the quartz crystal is neither a solid nor a liquid. It vibrates at 786,000 pulses per millisecond. Its continuum moves faster than light. Its vibration the axis of the universe. That's pretty cool. Which is really the fundamental truth of everything is there's nothing solid. Everything is vibrating. We think certain things that vibrate at a certain frequency are solid, but in actual fact, they're not. Nothing is really truly solid. Mind you, when I fell over on my chair just a moment ago, it did feel fairly solid. So, but the thing is that certain vibrational frequencies condense into what we call the third dimension or solid. And then the higher vibrations, they move from being solid to not being solid. And I guess when it comes to life forms, one of the most dramatic forms of that are the Sasquatch. When you find if you come across a Sasquatch, and I don't know if you have, maybe somebody out there has, they can disappear like right in front of your eyes, and because they can go from being solid by raising their vibration to becoming not solid. Another good example of this is working with monatomic gold. A monatomic gold, when the vibration raise the vibration of gold, it literally disappears. You lower the vibration of the gold and it reappears, which is another phenomena that you find with crystal skulls, particularly when crystal skulls are talking to one another. As they start to communicate, you'll see an arc of light from one skull to the other skull. If you use Kirlian video, you'll see the color of the rainbow from one skull to the other. And then it becomes pure white, and they disappear into the pure light, white light. And then they have this communication. And then when they're finished, they reappear back out of the light, and you see the rainbow, and then everything settles down. So it's just a way of showing you that, multidimensionally, by raising vibrations from solid, you can move into other frequencies, which means that Harry Potter and being able to disappear is not that extraordinary. It's totally capable once you understand the phenomena of how to raise your vibration. So a little bit about Wizardry 101, right? How to disappear. And for all you
how do
that
you
are
raise your vibration?
What? What's that?
How do you raise your vibration? How do you raise your vibration?
Are you going to answer that question? That's a great question. How are you raising your vibration?
Well, I truly want to know.
I know. What were we doing today? What were we doing, you and I?
Well, that's different. Well, okay, we were clearing. We were totally clearing
Absolutely. So how do you raise your vibration?
Just to clear the density. Well, I guess I'm trying to. Yeah. Well, the way we were doing it was to let go of the denseness that's there, add some space into the denseness, using the sound to get the vibration to.
Yes.
I guess.
Totally. So it could be yeah. Go ahead.
No.
You're absolutely right. The sound healing that's coming from your voice is clearing out the lower vibrations, which are literally like grounding rods or like lead in your boots, right? Because they're grounding you to the matrix, right? To the belief forms on the planet. Sort of like locking you into lead boots. And when you clear that out, you literally start to, the feeling you have is you're floating. You literally feel like you're floating. And, with some of the technologies I just experienced, at that event that you were at, which was, it was sending a beam of light through me, which was according to sacred geometry, which is a flower of life. It was reprogramming my DNA, and my body was realigning to the sacred geometry of who we are and what everything else is in the universe. So now I was lined up. My body was lining up with everything else. So now I could become everything else because I'm one with it. It's a matter of who, where, and what do I want to be in that moment. And so in that state, I could feel my body on the table, but I was above my body, like I was 4 feet above my body and could hear everything around me. So that's what happens when our vibrations are aligned with all the vibrations that are around us. So that's how you can do interspecies communication because you're on the same frequency as a whale or a dolphin or a wolf or whatever. Of course, all that comes from love in your heart, right? Yeah.
Right.
And comes from getting out of your own way. And the biggest one that's in the way is just our own trauma, is our own belief systems that we picked up from wherever we got them, from trauma or from abuse or from things we picked up at school or social programming or religious or whatever. So the more you become a sovereign human being, the more you can play on these scales, which is what this whole course is going to be about. And letting go is feel the motion, experience the motion, learn from the motion, let it go. The next emotion or next event, that has multiple emotions in it. Feel the event, as Krishnamurti says, praise or blame, treat it the same. Learn from it what you can and let it go. Whereas normally in our culture, with our background, we tend to want to process or hang on to it or mull over it or store it or be sad about it or entrap it or, like you say, get out of your body because you don't want to handle it or stuff it down or, do you know what I mean? Like, we'll pretty well do anything in our dance to avoid having to feel the motion. And when we step into the motion and feel it, it dissipates, it's gone, which is really our job as humans, is to feel the world that we're in and to let it go. Sort of like notes on a piano. You don't sort of hit the same note and let it, one note, and doesn't make an orchestra, doesn't make a piece. It's the black and white notes of playing the note and letting it go, play the note, letting it go. Anyway, does that make any sense?
It does, but I also got an awareness, though, like the other way, like if you did see a sacred symbol or like sacred geometry, and you align your thoughts to that symbol, that's kind of like a master key to be aligned a certain way, to have a certain frequency, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing in the dodecahedron downstairs. That's sacred geometry. So as you listen to your sound file, you're in the sacred geometry. As you let go, that sacred geometry, which has the Merkaba inside of it, which is the fundamental building block of who you are, or you could call it the flower of life, or you can say it's one of the 5 solids, because one's nested inside of the other and the other and the other and the other. And it's sacred geometry all the way up and all the way down. Right? And the dodecahedron is the same spiral that's in your DNA, it's a dodecahedron,
Okay.
and the dodecahedron is perfect for sound, so it enhances the sound vibration that you're listening to. But it's also the dodecahedron, inside of it is nested the globe or the earth, so the energy flow around the earth is a dodecahedron, and then the stars in the sky are from a dodecahedron, certainly from our point of view. So it's dodecahedron from the minutest particle all the way up through the scales as we go universe and cosmos. Or you can say, well, yeah, or you can say, well, it's, it's a fractal. So it's another way of saying sacred geometry. It's a fractal within a fractal within a fractal within a fractal. It's the same scale all the way up and all the way down. So just like when you play notes on a piano, you have the C scale, and then you have another chord, and then you have another chord, and but they're same notes being repeated on an upper scale, upper, as it gets more aloof, so to speak, or less dense is maybe a better way of saying it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool
Thanks.
stuff. Nothing complicated. I mean, when we think of disappearing or being like Harry Potter, that that became invisible, we go, whoa. Well, it's not that far-fetched, It's really doable. It's just that we haven't sort of allowed ourselves to think about what it would do to do that. And of course, the other thing about that is Harry Potter needed to be invisible because he was in danger. So that's another motivating factor. I mean, when you think about the sorts of extraordinary skills we have when we're in danger, all sorts of things can happen. Like people pick up cars when it runs over somebody just because they have the adrenaline rush that car needs to get off that person. They handily pick the car up by the bumper so the person can. So where did that strength come from? It's extraordinary and it's available in emergency in a life-threatening situation, which is really what I think these extrasensory or extraordinary skills are all about. They're not something to show off with, but they're available if and when we need them. And that's exciting to know that if you need to jump from here to there and it's life-threatening, then just jump from here to there. Know that you can do it. And I've proved that to myself. It's really quite amazing what you can allow yourself to do, even though your rational mind says it's not doable. Anyway, it's a fun thing to play with and do it in a safe manner, but play with it and allow yourself to go to the edge of from ordinary to extraordinary. So the extraordinary soon becomes ordinary. It makes your playpen and your sandbox that much bigger. All right, so we're standing by for your toll-free call, 1-866-369-7464. Come and tell us we're full of malarkey, we don't know what we're talking about, or ask a question about dowsing and energy healing. It's really quiet today. I don't know, maybe everybody's sleeping. Anyway, we're moving on here. So we talked about disappearing, we talked about crystals. People want to know what's their favorite pendulum. Your favorite pendulum should be the one that works the best for you, which could be a washer on the end of a string. Yeah, we have our favorite pendulums. I like an Isis pendulum, but really anything will do. You should be able to pick up anything that swings, any weight, and be able to make it work for you. And if it's not working for you, just blow on it 3 times with your breath of life, and that will program it so it will be able to work for you, right? All right, so we're now down to Personal Clearing Tuesday. And we have 14 comments in there. And Personal Clearing Tuesday is, what do you want to have help with to clear or let go of today? This could be trauma, unresolved emotions, family of origin, past life, matriarchal, patriarchal, inner child, and I would even include soul family. All right. Nico Love says, ask for Margaret and Eva, peace be with them. All right. Peace be with them. And Angela Rose Monica says, grief, sadness, and depression from learning about my womb lost twin. Yeah, this is really something that is coming up for the group that's been working in another Facebook group, realizing that a lot of trauma can be locked up in a lost twin. So if you had a twin and that twin died, then sometimes they're intertwined. And in fact, there's been cases where even parts of that twin cellular body has been found in the body of the twin that did survive. So if you're the type of person that really can't get to the bottom of clearing, then check if you do have a lost twin. And if you do, then you could do a court of atonement, or you could thank the twin for the opportunity to having the experience of being with you, and then encourage that lost twin, the one that died, to return to the light so it can obtain its own body and incarnate, and that you'll be okay and that you need to get on with your life. So that separation of that dual personality, or the dual inhabitation inside of you, where the twin soul or the twin is still inhabiting your body and interfering emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually with what's happening in your life. So it's really good that if you're really stuck about clearing, you can't seem to get to the bottom, see if you have a lost twin, or you had a twin that died in the womb or shortly after birth. All right. And of course, that can also be that can be actually in real life in this particular case. So that can be very tragic for the mother as well. So yeah, so always help that one that has passed over, or actually help that one that has died to pass over, to make sure that they're not grieving and trying to be with one that is alive, or trying to assist the mother. So, and sometimes our grief actually delays the ability for that being to go to the next dimension. Wilma Marie Rose says, clear financial scarcity and debt. Well, yeah, this is a big one that we're working on. I really encourage you to take a look at this book. I'm going to hold it up. This is a book from one of Janet's friends. Let's see if we can get the glare off the book. The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. It's available on Kindle for not very much. This author, which is Catherine Ponder, has a number of books on prosperity. I highly encourage you. It is from a Christian point of view, but I think that's perfectly all right, because she's making it really clear that the key people in the Bible couldn't have done what they were here to do without being able to be wealthy in many cases, and that there's the whole concept that somehow that poverty is a necessary path to enlightenment or for spiritual edification is a erroneous belief that's really stuck in the Piscean age. We're now moving into the Aquarius age, where if you look at the jug of the Aquarian feminine being, she's pouring that water onto the earth, which is the flow of abundance. Abundance is available for us. The beauty of learning the laws of prosperity and stepping into that truth is the more money that you have, the more people you can reach, the more clear and compassionate a world that we can create, and the more we can become philanthropists to alleviate poverty. So the turnaround in consciousness as we become sovereign human beings is not just freeing ourselves from whatever does no longer serves us, but also the beliefs that scarcity, that competition, that survival of the fittest, that dog eat dog is not necessarily the best operating system for us to abide by, and does not allow us to reach the goals of material abundance to help others. That was really a beneficial and benevolent way to go about one's life. So yeah, and then Janet says the same thing, clear blocks to abundance. Thank you so much. Trauma from being harassed the other night, sadness of fear of being alone. Wow. Okay, so let's do an abundance one. So here goes. So I'm spinning my pendulum counterclockwise. If you're listening to the show now or later, I'm going to do it for everybody listening to the show now and in the future. So here goes. In my holy name, Tyhson Banighen, I undertake this clearing throughout all time, space, and dimension with the Assistant Divine Mother who comes through with wholeness, gratitude, and love. And I ask for her assistance to clear this trauma from the planet, and for all being listening to this broadcast, to clear all barriers to living an abundant life from wherever we may have gathered or received those beliefs, whether they were from our childhood, from our parents, from our school, from our culture, from our religion, from our tradition. And we bring all those energetics to zero, so they no further have any influence on our being. And we clear them throughout all time, space, and dimensions, both known or unknown. And we thank for them all for the learning opportunity, because there's learning that we can gather from poverty and lack, and that is to learn that we are truly abundant and that we are abundantly rich. That is our birthright. So I love you for the opportunity to learn about this. I'm sorry that I didn't learn it until now. So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, because now I understand. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And I declare it so be it. It is done. So the installation would be something like this. Just let the pendulum slow down from the clearing. So I declare in my holy name, Tyhson Banighen, that I'm a clear, sovereign human being, and that all being listened to this call have the divine right to remember that abundance is their birthright, and that they, when they're standing in their sovereign truth, abundance flows to them with ease and grace. They're at the right time, at the right place to receive what's due to them. And as they sow, shall they reap. As they give, so shall they receive. As they knock, so shall the door be open. And it's been declared in every religion and every belief and every philosophy since the beginning of time. So now is our time to install that as a truth in our being and to free humanity from the slavery of there is not enough, to joy, to have the joy and prosperity of money, and to sing and dance with it like a playful child, rather to grieve and be in sorrow because of the lack of it. And I declare it so be it. It is done. Thank you. So there you are, a little around the abundance, and we'll be doing much more on that as we form the book club, which is called the Prosperity Book Club, and we will be going through chapter by chapter the dynamic laws of prosperity. It'll be $33 a month, and we're hoping that you'll join us. We're looking forward to that. There'll be one class a week as we dive in and free ourselves from these limiting beliefs. All right. We'll do one for trauma and attacks from all sources and matriarchal burdens and blame trauma. We did the financial blocks and debts of all kinds, but psychic attacks. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so I, Tyhson Banighen, in all holy name, undertake this clearing on behalf of everybody listening to this call now and in the future, to clear them from all non-beneficial sources that lead to trauma, matriarchal, patriarchal burdens. I release them from any core fractures, toxic emotions, or unresolved emotions that may arise from any belief system, whether it be religious or be from their school, their childhood, or any source known or unknown. And I clear them throughout all time, space, and dimensions, and through the multidimensional levels of the reality. And I'll say the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And I declare it so be it. It is done. So if you're listening to that call, you can type it out or you can head over to the Dowsing Energy Healing Post Facebook group, and in the files, download the short clearing and adjust it for what you want to clear. You'll just see that it's worded such that there's an open close bracket to include what specifically you want to clear. All right. So it's really quiet out here, Janet. I don't know what we did, how we scared people away, but you and I did some deep clearing today. And well, maybe everybody got so cleared on the planet, they don't want to play with us anymore. And anyway, we're standing by for your call, 1-866-369-7464, or you can leave your comments in the Facebook right underneath where you're listening to the show. All right. So if you're listening to this, I'd really love for you to go over to the Academy YouTube channel. We're just about at 500. I think we're 400 and maybe 50 something people that have subscribed. I'd love to get it to 500. So if you wouldn't mind going over there and subscribing to the channel, you'll get all of these calls. If you missed a call, they're all going to be posted there on the YouTube channel. All the wellness show ones will be posted there, and the big picture show reveal will be there as well. So all the shows and will be posted there. All the healing hour. And the wellness show as well. So it's a really good thing to do, and you will get a notice in the email telling you whenever a new show is uploaded to YouTube. Okay, Building Clearing Monday, 12 comments. Okay, which hospitals, schools, prisons, graveyards, etc. do you want help with to clear today? Please give us the full address. All right. 12 comments. Okay, Monique Sage, my mobile office, Nico Love, an address in Elkwood Street, Los Angeles. And she wants to forgive this property and the landlord and the daughter. And Carolyn Quinn wants to clear a property on 13th Avenue in Portland, Oregon. And Marjorie Curtis says, oh, I forgot it was clearing Monday, and I just cleared my niece's home. Her 5-year-old son is sure there are monsters in there with scary teeth. Yeah, I don't like monsters with scary teeth. I was visiting and made the mental note to clear it. However, I would appreciate more help just to make sure that it's clear, and that is for Fulmer Avenue in Haverton Town, Pennsylvania. All right. See here. And then there's also Annette wants to clear an address on Accent Way in Germantown, MD. I think, what's MD? Do you know?
Maryland.
MD. Maryland.
Maryland.
Okay, thank you. I think so. Okay. And then Sharon Corbin wants to clear a property on Shenandoah Road North Road. Sorry, Shenandoah Road North in Brandon, Mississippi. And Avinder Shabra wants to clear a property on the first floor in West Punjabi, Bengali, New Delhi. All right, so here we go. So yeah, so anybody listening to this call, you just put in your address, and so it would go like this: spinning your pendulum counterclockwise. You would say, "I," in my case, Tyhson Banighen, on behalf of everybody listening to this call now or in the future, clear all of the houses, all of the properties, all of the buildings that were mentioned in the Dowsing Energy Healing closed Facebook group, and all those that were mentioned previously in previous posts. Let's do a clearing for all of them, all the hospitals, all the prisons, all the White House. There was all sorts of requests, but we're going to do them all over again and add more energy to it, because every time you clear another layer off the onion. So it goes like this: I, Tyhson Banighen, in my holy name, clear all of the addresses, all the properties, both in and around the property and underneath the property. We clear all geopathic stress that may be adversely affecting the property. And we clear it throughout all time, space, and dimensions. And we ask for the assistance of the elementals to assist in undertaking this. And we clear it throughout, like I said, all time and space, both known or unknown, and all the multidimensional levels of reality. And then you would say, I declare it so be it. It is done. Yeah, the more that you do that, the more the house then carries, literally when you do that, you're creating the molecules in the walls to begin to vibrate with this clearing energy. And, live things love to have joy. They love to feel that abundance. They love to feel that they're respected and loved. So the more you clear them, the more they literally sing with joy, and the more that they will continue to do that clearing action. So things that really feel terrible, and cause things to go bump in the night, or scary monsters with teeth to be under the bed, just don't happen anymore, because the building or the home or the bedroom is so full of love that there is just such a peaceful feeling that when you walk in there, there's no place for nightmares or for fears or doubts, because the room emanates nothing but pure divine love. So if you don't have that in your house, or even if you're renting a house, do it for everybody in the house, and do it for all those that are going to inhabit the house. If you enter a hospital, please clear yourself before you go into the hospital. When you're in the hospital and it feels not so good, go into the bathroom, clear the whole hospital, and then clear yourself when you come out of the hospital before you come home, so that there's no disincarnate beings or those that haven't passed over following you home to live with you. So those are just some suggestions. And don't forget, you can clear all the prisons around you. You can clear all of that. And which brings up to a request that just came in today. We're going to be doing a special group of all those that are interested in working on, see if I can find it. I have to go way up to the beginning here. Yeah, this is from Sandra L. Brown. She said, hi, I'm new to the group and relatively new to dowsing. My interest in dowsing is perhaps different, and I don't even know if it's realistic. I am a psychotherapist and researcher. I work exclusively with women coming out of relationship with psychopaths. I became interested in dowsing because of not only the unusual energy of psychopaths, but the unusual and statistically impossible outcomes of social justice, i.e. court, usually custody cases with psychopaths. I've worked in this field for 30 years, and I have consistently seen and am involved with many other agencies involved with survivors in court with psychopaths. Statistically, in other court cases with non-psychopathic persons, you have a 50-50 chance with either person winning. But with psychopaths, even with enormous amounts of evidence or of violence and deviancy, about 80% of the time they win custody. And even with pedophiles, I tried to explain this away for many years, but no longer can do so. I am curious if dowsing has ever been used in social justice reform, like these cases when some unusual energy is causing unexplainable and dangerous outcomes to children. If not, is there a way to gather a group who wants to douse these cases and start tracking its effectiveness? There's 11 comments there, and this is a very serious and very important topic, and I'd be more than pleased to work with a group on this privately. And so I've asked Sandra to get hold of me privately if she'd like, but I'm more interested also in doing it with a group. And I think right now we have yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 people interested. So we'll be doing a class. Okay. So stay tuned. I will be posting a class. It'll be on Zoom, and we'll be doing a class on this very important topic. And we'll like you to come along and participate. And then it will be posted as an online evergreen course for anybody that can sign in and take it. It will probably be around $33 when we're finished. We'll keep it inexpensive, but it'll help pay for keeping keeping up, being able to update the academy and keeping it fresh and alive. All right, we're now past the hour.
There's a quick question. What kind of class? Someone had a question. What kind of class?
It will be on Zoom. So it'll be a class that you can attend live. And if you miss it because it doesn't work for your time zone, it will be in the academy as a course that you could. It will be $33 that you can then sign in and listen to whatever time is convenient for you.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
It's like, what would the title be? Like, helping clearing negative outcomes of working with psychopaths, or what? What is the topic? Is what she wants to know. Like,
it's going to be how to work with psychopaths. It'll be a group experience about how to use dowsing to work with psychopaths. Okay.
Okay.
And of course, in that we'll be talking about how to work in a courtroom, how to clear entities, how to clear the justice system, how to work with lawyers, how to work with psychologists. We'll be doing the whole gamut. So think about mental institutions, think about courtrooms, think about safe families, think about the whole thing of sexual abuse, the pedophiles. All of that will be discussed in this course, right? So,
okay, the person, yeah, she said, "Great, thanks." She understands. That's awesome. So it's actually advocating for other people's power, to help other people take their power. Like, it's an advocacy group. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an advocacy group, and if there's a real need for this, we'll create a separate group for people to work together, because this is one of the areas where, I'm saying this, I'm getting shivers up my spine, where we can move it from 50-50, from 80% negative to 80%, 90% positive, outcome we can make it a safe environment for children, safe environment for women that are married to psychopaths. We can free women from all the addictions around that, and the whole sexual abuse and the triangle, what is that triangle, Janet, of the abuser and the enabler? Yeah, the abuser and the enabler and the person that's
The
doing it, right?
rescuer.
The rescuer, which is the
Yeah.
triangle. So we'll be talking about that triangle. In actual fact, it may be quite an intense course. It may be eventually more than $33 because we're going to have to do some deep diving. It'll be a really well worth attending this course. So, and it's part of the Me Too movement. So this has a
Yeah.
lot of, it's very relevant now. So I
Yeah.
really want to thank you, Sandra Brown. If you're not listening to this call, I'm going to encourage you. I'll put a note in encouraging you to listen to the last part of this call and stay tuned for that. It will be hosted in the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. And once it's up, we'll put a link in the Dowsing Energy Healing Facebook group so you can find us and join that course. Okay.
Yeah.
Any last words, Janet?
I'm really grateful for like having a powerful group like this that can just sort of like, someone puts a question in a Facebook post and then like boom, like we can totally mobilize and get together. It's just really grateful for the community and for all the work you're putting in, Tyson. Thank you.
Well, thank you
That's
very
it.
much, and I'm excited to just imagine if there was possible to get everybody on the same place and the same time, wherever they are, all 2,431 people clearing something, how powerful that would
Yeah.
be. So,
Yeah.
so we were talking about how to become invisible. So Janet and I are going to demonstrate that right now. We're going to become invisible to you, and we're going to say bye for now. See you same time, same place next week to answer all your dowsing and energy healing questions and concerns. In the meantime, head over to the Dowsing Energy Healing closed Facebook group and ask your really important, tough questions there so we can get them answered. Until then, have the best week ever. This is Tyhson Banighen, the Illuminator, bringing light to you and humanity. Looking forward to helping you be the best you can be and getting from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. So bye for now. Have your best week ever.